Hello, my name's Tragic O'Hara, and today, right, here's an idea for this print thing, right? But you'll need to ignore the fact that my washing machine's going mental in the background. I'm going to get a rolling pin, and I'll like tape and make different shapes on the rolling pin, right? And I'll cover it with ink, and then I'll tape a bit of A2 paper down onto my desk. I'll roll the rolling pin over the top of it, so it makes all these weird shapes, right? And then when it dries, I'll just make things out of the shapes, and I'll do maybe four different colours, but they're all for the one rolling pin thing. And then when I'm finished, I'll set fire to the rolling pin. Listen to my washing machine, listen to it. So that's the idea there, right? And then what I'll do is I'll film the whole thing, and then people can look at the prints and then watch the video about how the whole thing was made. And then there's only 4 of them, and that's my idea. Is that like the sort of thing that you're looking for? Is it an actual print thing? Yard Life Gallery Space up at Yardworks are doing it's like a print exhibition type of thing, right? I don't really do the print thing. Like, I've wanted to try lino printing for a while, but I've never really got round to doing it. This idea, right, and it involves a rolling pin, and I've got some clay. Okay, let me be completely honest about this thing. I don't think this is going to work. Like, I really don't think this is going to work. It started to all crack. Like, there's bits falling off it. There was a point while I was making that thing going, oh, this is going to work. You're an idiot. Like, you are an idiot. Like, there's no way that's going to work. Like, there's no way that thing's going to work. But it might, I suppose. What's the worst that can happen? Death. Death's the worst thing that can happen. That's not going to kill me. It'll probably make me look like an idiot, but it's not going to kill me. But I know nothing about printing, like block printing. I know nothing about block printing. Like, I know nothing about that stuff. Absolutely nothing. I did at one point fancy doing lino printing, but in my infinite bad attitude problem that I've got, I was all geared up to do lino printing, and then I went on Instagram one day and I seen a couple of other people do it, and I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, because I have got that attitude problem where it's like, oh, someone started doing that, I'm not going to be. I don't want to look like I'm copying them. So I'd never done it. How is that instructions? You got a planting screw, 2 planting screws, and a tool. What the I tried screen printing, goosed that up. Like, I didn't even get one I get 2 t-shirts made, but they just fell apart. One ended up a canvas that's sitting down there. I don't know what I'm doing, but my idea is, I just try my best to see what happens, and then just let them dry and turn them into something, right? But it's not, no one's going to die. No one's going to die, but I'm going to give it a go, but I don't think it's going to work. I genuinely think. Do I even have masking tape? Not ideal. Ah, my toe! Put cardboard down. 14 sheets, so that means I can make 10 mistakes. There's my rolling pin. Gloves. This is never going to work. Kind of defeats the purpose of putting on gloves. That's a wee bit better. Jesus Christ. That'd have been a much better idea, just using cans of paint. They look kind of rubbish. Why is it not going on? I don't think I've got masking tape. This thing's just going to move all over the place. How would you make them a bit more? Just need to be. I'll see what happens with the next one. Whole thing's just disintegrated. Yeah. Product can stain. And I should have read it. And socks. It doesn't do. Off. That's no good. What you think it's going to do? There we go. That's it. It's just going to make a mess. It did just make a mess, right? I burnt my carpet trying to dry my gloves because they were covered in ink, right? I had to fashion some sort of washing line to try and dry them all because, like, I mean, this has now been, it's been a week now and they're still wet, and I get yellow ink all over my my rug, my good rug. Do you know what I mean? The rug I get married in. So like it didn't work. Like it didn't work, right? It just made a pure lot of nonsense, right? Like at the beginning, when I'd done it, I was like, oh, of course it didn't work. That was stupid. There's not even enough of it to set on fire. Stupid. Just a stupid idea. Why? I don't understand why I thought that would even... Why I actually thought that would even work. Because it didn't. There was nowhere near working, ever, right? Anyway, what was the first? So that was the first thing. And then I started squashing the two of them together. I took a squeegee to that one. And then with the squeegee thing, that kind of happened. And the squeegee thing, that kind of happened. I don't like them, right? But when I put just blobs and kind of rubbed them together, that's what happened. Right? I like that one. Socks are goosed, by the way. Socks are absolutely good. If I put blobs on and I squash them together and peel them apart, and then take the copy and put the copy down and add another colour, and then squash them and peel them apart, and then take that copy, like that song, 9 Inch Nails, copy of a copy, and just keep doing that but adding a bit of colour, then there'll be similarities between them all. So that one, and that one, those four, they're the ones, right? Use them. And then the more I looked at them, I was like, do you know what really happened? There was so much ink on them that they're still wet now, and I was like, I'll just take one with not a lot of ink and I'll try that. So I just heat gunned it for a bit, and then I just started drawing stuff.
And if you wanna lie, then lie about it. And if you wanna steal, make sure it's something good. And if you tell the truth, then I won't doubt it. And I choose to believe that you're as thick as thieves.
And I just put on music and I just started drawing stuff.
Yes, thieves.
Like these are the two that I like the most. Right? I'm like, right, I actually quite like them. I have no idea what they are, right? I have no idea. I just, whatever was coming to my head, I was just drawing it. There was a point when I started writing notes on them. Like I drew a chair in one. Because my back was so sitting in that thing, and I was like, you need to get a new chair, man. So I just drew a chair on it. Like, so, but I quite like them. And then that led me down another kind of rabbit hole. Like, I used to make these things and they were black and white. This is when I kind of first started trying to do canvas stuff. And I would just take like 3 big canvases and a Sharpie, and I'd just draw whatever came into my head. After I was kind of farting about with the first one, right, I made this thing, right? Like some of the stuff I used to do, like eyeballs and mouths and things and spray caps and things. And then I started writing my name, started writing tragic in it, but not really looking at what I was doing, just kind of quick. So then after I'd done that, where I just didn't look at the letters. I just kind of drew it and I just farted about with it. I was like, I quite like that. And then the next thing I know, I picked them back up and I just started kind of just doing the same thing. What you're about to see is a unedited wander around the car boot sale in my head. Which is what I've been kind of calling it in the guide. Sometimes, believe it or not, I go on a bit of a rant and I go off on a bit of a tangent and stuff. The next thing you're going to see is just a total unedited kind of rant till I get to the point, but I figure a few things out along the way. There's one edit because I swear in it, but it was essential. I don't know, man, and it just kind of led me down this rabbit hole. So eventually I'm going to do my name on a wall without looking, like that Billy Connolly thing, and just see what happens, instead of turning up with a plan, because I don't have a plan anymore. I would love just to be like, right, I've got these colours, I've got this stuff, let's just see what happens. Like I'm really into that. Like I'm into that more than I'm into technique now. There was a while, same thing happened in music, the exact same thing happened in music. All I wanted to do for a long time was be able to play like Dimebag Darrell. That was it. So I'd sit and I'd learn alternative picking and sweep picking and finger tapping and like all that kind of weird Eddie Van Halen stuff that Dimebag does. Because it was like Eddie Van Halen, right? It was like Eddie Van Halen, and then Dimebag came in and like took a lot of like loved Eddie Van Halen so much and done that it became Dimebag, and no one plays like Dimebag or played like Dimebag. Like no one plays like Dimebag Darrell. Like I know people who can play every single one of his solos, right? But it's not the way that Dimebag plays it. It's not. They just can't do it because Dimebag's Dimebag, right? So where was I going, man? Right? What was I doing? What was I talking about there? I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I talking about? The music thing, right? So I spent all that time learning how to do that sort of stuff, and then it got to the point where I was like, I'm bored of this. Like I don't like practicing. Like I don't like sitting here and having a metronome on and going do 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 do. Like it does nothing for me, right? So at that point I was just like, I am binning this, and it was just about writing songs, man, and just like jamming out riffs and like stuff like that, and I kind of feel like that's the way this is kind of went, where it's like, oh, let's focus on the technique. People like realistic looking portraits, let's learn how to do the highlights and where the shadows come from and do all that sort of stuff. And it got to the point where I was like, I am bored of this now. Like I don't want to sweep pick. I'm never going to sweep pick. Like I would rather play one good note than 100 notes that don't fit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the one good note is so much better than the 400 notes that you're like how fast I can play. Like I'm not into it, man. Like, and if you're into it, that's fine. Rule 0.5. But like that's not my thing. And I feel as if it's kind of got to the point when I can get here. Do you know what I mean? But the other side of the coin is, see, learning how to do all those portraits and learn how to do like paint realistic and do all that sort of stuff, that paid the bills forever. Like that was paying the bills so that I could make a wee thing and experiment with stuff, right? I feel like I am now in this bit where it's like, right, I can either double down on the money and get good at that, all that stuff, and like compete, but I don't even know, like go and chase a thing that people will pay money for. Like a safer bet of like more people are going to want a portrait, a realistic portrait of Billy Connolly on their wall than what I made. Right? I think. So, maybe not Billy Connolly, but you know what I mean? And then like, that feels like the safe bet, but all those safe bets got me to the point where I'm starting to be able to do this sort of stuff, but so I can either chase the safe bet or I can chase the walrus.